Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing on release day? Richard, happy Monday afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's Monday. We get to get back to work. I love that every single week. We got release day going on. We got Too Tall Toby in the house with us today.
Hey,
hello, Toby.
I saw you in the comments.
Yep, good to see you again, buddy. I know this was kind of a last minute thing in the forums today, so hopefully some more folks will join us here. But everybody can always look at always watch the recording after we're done. So
that's exactly right. Yeah. So I think the release came out a little more than an hour ago. I was heads down doing some video editing. I poked up and there's the release. Here we go. Time to get a hold of Richard and get on the air. So
there we go.
Eduardo's on the. What time is it, Eduardo? Go to bed. Well, thank you for joining us. I know there's some late nights in Spain.
Yeah. Hey, we got Christian Blanc is here with us too. Hello, Christian.
Blanc.
Yep. Thanks for joining
Christian, us. We got to get you on the show sometime.
We do. We really do.
Yes, absolutely. It's Christian's a longtime friend of the CAD world. Yep. And he's new to Onshape recently, and he's a longtime SolidWorks person. And we should definitely get him on and his thoughts on the state of SaaS. So I'm putting you on the spot, Christian, because I know I can. So, so I'm happy to see lots of people starting to join in. So, there's a bunch of cool things that I am excited about in this list of updates. I mean, not every release can have 50,000 updates, but this release has some nice, really good nuggets people will appreciate, especially in the world of drawings, which is your favorite thing, Richard.
Absolutely. And, frankly, if Onshape users get a little down because it might be a lighter release than usual, they always have 3 weeks from now to look forward to. So,
Yeah. And actually we got the sneak peek on Wednesday and Thursday at Onshape Live, right? So definitely if you have not signed up for Onshape Live, do it now.
Yep, onshapelive.com. You can go right there and just do it right now while we're talking here. You can listen as we go along. So, hey, why don't we take a look at some of the stuff that came out today, Michael?
Yeah, let's do it. Let me share my screen here. And another gratuitous plug for Onshape Live here.
There we go.
Yes. So definitely sign up. Just please sign up. All right, let's talk about the first thing. This one I actually like a lot, and because it's actually quite it's actually quite flexible. No pun intended. People sometimes want to twist, and sometimes people don't want to twist, right?
I did. I got a kick out of the video. I assume you're going to show it here, but
let's show and then we'll do some live stuff with it.
Yeah. But in the description of the video, it talks about troubleshooting twisting, and then when we get to the end of the video, you'll see why I was a little bit surprised.
So it looks like Onshape did a fairly decent job here with going from the hex to the circle without any rigmarole. It's pretty good, but let's say you want to introduce some twist. Here we're just picking random points, and of course recently, I think several updates ago, we added the ability to move those connection points, but it was actually quite some what's the word I'm trying to use, like the way the lofting works. You can do a lot of flexible things with it now. And we had those connectors, but they just weren't as available, I would say. They were there, but they were kind of hidden, right? Now they're on full display, right? So let's just make something, right? Let's go in and say I want a 2-inch circle over here. And I am going to extrude that out at 4 inches. We'll try to recreate Roy's twist thing here. And, I'm going to also on the same plane here, go ahead.
You're going to use that fancy new functionality from the last release, aren't you?
That's right. Of course. Why wouldn't I?
Why wouldn't you? Why create another plane when you don't have to, right?
Exactly. So we'll do 6, well, not 20 side. That's a dodecahedron. Right. Vertical there.
There we go.
That looks good.
Fully defined every time, eh, Toby?
Yeah, that's right. You got to have it fully defined. All right, so I'll extrude this. We'll do our.
Yep. If you haven't seen this yet, folks, this was new in the last release, the starting offset with your sketches, and that's just awesome. I love that new functionality.
Exactly. So now we got a new solid right there. All right, so we got a little space. So let's say, obviously you could control this by splitting this up into 6 segments. That's kind of, sometimes
you can do it, but sometimes you have to.
But let's just go face to face, right? Because you can do that too. I didn't need a sketch to put those in. A lot of people don't realize you can do that.
Yep.
But here are the connections, and you can see right away live preview. It's the first time I've tried this. And now, of course, I can just take. Oh, that was the wrong one to move. There we are. Now I can just go in and work it around. Let me turn that off just for a second. Try that. All right, there we are. So I picked the beginning point and the ending point that I want it to, work with. Right, and now I can, just drag that out. And of course, I could start with a, normal to profile or, things like that to do some, more interesting blends, right? So that's another solid right there. I could have told it to make it, add it and merge it with all the pieces. If, well, let's see, probably might be something popping up, but you can see that's pretty easy.
Yep.
Now we can introduce a twist, with your loft on purpose, or you can
troubleshoot that accidental twist. Yeah.
Yes. Accidental twists are easy to troubleshoot now. So wicked easy.
The easier and easier that these surfacing tools and different, it doesn't always have to be a surfacing tool, but things like lofts and sweeps and things like that. The easier they make it for people like me to do that, the better chance I'm going to have of ever learning how to do really good surfacing. So
yeah,
I appreciate that.
I'm in the same boat. I haven't done a lot of surfacing lately. I've been getting ready for Onshape Live, doing a surfacing kind of prep in it, and it's really given me a new appreciation of what's happened in the last year or so with the features that have been added.
And I've seen that model, and it's a really good one too.
So. Cool. A little sneak peek. There it is.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, extend ellipse. So of course you could, there's lots of sketch operations that you can kind of get by with, but this just makes the quality of life when working with any kind of elliptical arcs better, especially when you're trimming and extending and doing things like that. So essentially, let's play the video here. See here, we have a nice kind of dog bone shaped slot, and we want to take this elliptical shape that we drew as an ellipse and just use the extend tool. So you can use the extend tool. You can go to existing points. You can fully close an ellipse to get it back in.
Or a circle or an arc, actually. So if you've trimmed a sketch circle, or if you've created an arc, you can actually close those as well.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, you've had a chance to play with this, it sounds.
Yeah, just a little. And I will warn everybody ahead of time that's going to try this for the first time. If you came from some other CAD systems, you can't drag the points together yet. I want everybody to go ahead and submit that as an enhancement request. We'd love to be able to drag those points together. But for now, you'll need to use the extend tool to get that done.
Yeah, you can see if I try doing it like that, it's not quite going to do it. But, if you obviously hit the extend button, it'll go right to the ellipse itself, to that horizontal line. It works perfect, and you have a nice entity to work with right there. So it's nice.
It's good stuff. Good sketching improvements.
Cool. All right, basic stuff there. Let's let us continue.
All right, this is for those airplane designers out there. Or frankly, anybody who needs to produce output that can be used for cutting on a water jet or something like that. So the maximum drawing size.
Exactly. So we're not limited to, a certain range, shorter range. Now the range is much larger now to accommodate, if you needed to do a full size print of this wind turbine blade, which actually you probably couldn't do because, these blades are like football field long sometimes.
But instead of a 1 to 128 scale, you might get away with 1 to 12 or something like that. So
exactly. So there's tons of long, slender kind of components that you need a scale print for. And in this case, a wind turbine blade is obviously something I've seen before. Is a print that I've been to many manufacturers of these over the years, and I've seen prints like this in the past where you have the big long scroll.
I am reminded of a story when I was 19 years old working as a mechanical draftsman for a little scale company. And they wanted me to create a flow chart that was big enough to be read from our booth at a trade show. And so I actually drew it on a rolled up piece of paper that I kept unrolling and unrolling. And it turned out to be about 20 feet long at one point, and just D-size high. And it was a combination of mechanical drafting with pencils and Croy lettering. I don't know if anybody ever remembers the Croy machines. So when it was fun when I saw this. I kind of harkened back to 40 years ago.
So yeah, you would just go in, and I presume, let's just give it a whirl here. Let's create a drawing of this piece right here. Custom template. Let's go ahead. Might as well go feet and inches for something like this.
Yep.
Where are we? Let's do this. I think I need to change it after. I might be wrong, but you can be wrong with me. All right, let's see. Format, custom. I think I will probably have to make the format. If I read the actual thing, the maximum size of an Onshape. Okay. These output. I am betting at this point that you would make your template.
Yep.
Size.
That's the size that you wanted. And then you'll, scale it down to whatever value you have to get your output.
Right. Let me just try one more thing before I eat my hat. This is one I did not check ahead of time. My apologies. But if I go to custom, I'm not going to see it anywhere here, I don't think. Yeah. So I'm presuming that it would be a
custom template
ahead of time. You import the DWT file and you go from there. So I'll double check that and put something in the show notes for everybody, because I haven't had a chance to try that one out yet. This one is actually quite nice. The way the flag notes are evolving now in drawings to actually have a nice workflow, essentially. So it's not just the ability to have a flag note on your drawing, but have the flag notes be, meaningful and useful as you continue to work on your drawing. And this example does a really nice job. Mehul Gala on the Onshape team did a great job of explaining here. But, we have this group of notes, right? We highlight these and we're going to turn them into flag notes. So that turns them into a flag note, which it doesn't have to be a flag. It can be, a diamond shape or whatever you want. You just select it. And now we're going to use our call outs, and you'll see the flag note gives us item number 1 and item number 2 in that list. If you really went by fast, let's pause it right here. There we are. See what happens? That 1 and 2 is actually representing the 1 and 2 of the notes underneath that call out screen. Okay.
Very nice.
So it's smart. It's connected to these notes. Here we are. I want to try some of this stuff out live. Actually, this one's interesting to me because it's let's do a note 1. This is flag notes. They are sequential. That. Make sure that this is a 2. colors. Forgot that we could actually do this too. Paste. There we are. Get rid of that manual number 1. That's all a little bit silly. Highlight both of these. Give this a bulleted number list. In fact, they're flags now. And, the flag, you see drawing next to it, that means that's the drawing default for flag notes. But if I wanted octagons to show up or whatever, do diamonds like the other one. Diamonds are forever. And now if I stick a dimension on here, in a call out of a flag note, get rid of that.
There we go.
There we are. There's number 1. I can attach it to a dimension like that. You can also just like pick it on the fly, and that's item number 1. Then you can go down to item number 2 and put it wherever you think you need it. And what I want to do, you can see how they all cross highlight too.
Yep.
That's pretty cool, right? You hover over it and
really
it cross
cool.
highlights the they really thought this one through. Let's see if I double circle number 2. Look at that.
Nice.
All right. So this is really done well. Like I'm really impressed with the detail of the workflow.
Yep.
That is here.
Are you willing to try one more thing?
Yeah.
Can we get rid of the periods after the numbers?
Oh, let's see. Double circle.
Probably have to undo the flag note first.
Yeah. And I think that's a way, the way we're doing the numbered list. So I'm thinking not.
Yep. Must be standard.
Yeah. If somebody needs that removed, though, submit a ticket. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
I love the way this works. If I click it here, oh, look at that. If it works the other way too, see?
Yep.
Click the 2 here, it highlights it in the note all by itself.
Nice.
All right, let's continue on. Let's put a hole in here on the center of this M3 tapped hole. All right, kind of a tiny hole, but that's all right. Just for update our drawing here. So the next item is related to the hole tool. All right, so we have a hole. We have all these dimensions too, right? Let's put some tolerances in.
While you're doing that, I'll welcome Frank Arnaldo Carlos C. joining us from Peru today.
Wow.
Says he's making a team of many young people to work on manufacturing UTV vehicles.
Ah, excellent. All right. So what I've set up here, I have some dimensions with, let's actually do some tolerancing on the whole call out. Do deviation. So this is a pretty tight tolerance here. 70 on the diameter of the drill going in, and then we have an M3 tap going on here. So, to inspect that, you get your steel ruler or your depth gauge and your
calipers,
whatever
MMC machine, whatever you happen to have at the time.
You have to have. Yep.
Tape measure.
I am going to export this as a inspection list. I'm going to store that. I'm going to download it just right now because I need to open that in like some sort of editing program, right? Excel or something similar. I'm going to go to my other screen and grab my download.
Actually, you can get it. Yep. Yeah, you can get it right there from your window with the bottom left.
Yeah, I see it right there. I wanted to tell it to open it in a certain program. Let me get rid of that. Let me try that one more time. Oh, I forgot to actually apply the balloons. My goodness, I got an empty report. I do this sometimes, but here are the buttons right here.
Yep.
for inspection
There
items.
they are.
So I can say that that's an inspection item, that's an inspection item, and that's an inspection item. Now, I would export this. All right, so we'll download that, and I will open that. Let's open it from here. See what it opens in. Oh, there we are. Just
there we go.
Yeah, there's your upper and lower limits now being calculated for a whole call out, which is new. That's what's new in this release. So, yeah, we've had the inspection reporting. It's just part of Onshape. Every single user gets this. You don't have to pay extra for this. This is not an add-in program of any kind. This is part of Onshape. Just export your dimensions as an inspection list, and it's supporting more and more tolerance types. Essentially, that's what we're doing.
Yep, good stuff.
Yeah, it seems like every couple updates we're talking about the inspection stuff, which I'm happy with. All right. FeatureScript improvement. Now, this one is insanely exciting if you're in the FeatureScript or any kind of programming.
Exactly. And that I was so excited to get on this live stream today because between you and what Chad said in the forums, you're going to explain to me why this is so great.
Okay. This is actually something that I don't know if it's a first. I'm not a coder like some people I know. So I can't comment 100% on things but from what I've seen and what I know, what you're looking at here is FeatureScript, right? You know, when you can create your own features, this looks like the 3D line kind of like vector 3D line custom feature that has been written. And you can see that there's a table being called out as an import function, okay? And you can see on here where the finger is a blue out-of-date notification.
Yeah.
This is data management stuff. This is data management for FeatureScript.
Okay.
Right? So, of course, everything in Onshape's always version controlled. Remember, from your first line sketched or from your first line coding in FeatureScript, everything is always saved because you're doing this in the browser in an environment that we're providing, creating FeatureScript in this window. And you're calling in other stuff from other documents, right? But how do you know? Just like a PDM system, when you check in and check out a file, it shows you, what's out of date and things like that. Onshape does provide you with this for your mechanical stuff, right? For parts, assemblies, drawings. Right. If something's out of date, you're going to see the blue icon and you can update it. That's what's going on here. Nice. Right? You can see that there is an we're using V1 of the 3D lines import. And that might be okay. Maybe you want to stay on version 1. It's just letting you know that there is a newer version if you want to get it. Right? So let's just play this and see if it's but here you can, and this is all kind of like in the last few updates, we've had updates relating to like actually clicking in and showing you the path to get there. But you can update the linked document straight from there. Like your PDM, is like right there in your programming. It's like really advanced levels of capability on creating, essentially keeping track of your version control while you're doing your FeatureScript programming is what you're seeing. And it's really exciting to me that we have extended that level of update that we're all used to in the CAD side to the programming side.
Now I can see why Michael was so excited. I'm pretty sure Chad Stolfus is going to be excited about this because think about all of the different projects and things. Chad, we've seen some of the work that he does. And surely they've got items that need previous revisions of whatever might be opening with those FeatureScript. So Good stuff. Good stuff.
Absolutely. If you have an Android device, Richard, you have an Android, right?
I do.
Yeah. So you're going to receive some improvements here. So the export dialog on an Android device now kind of just makes, it looks more like the one you're on, when you're using the browser version of Onshape. So you just go in and from your Android device, you have your part and you need to export it to somebody who has a 3D printer that you're visiting or something, and you need to get them the file and airdrop it to them, and you need to get it out first or whatever, you can do it. Not airdrop on an Android. Oh my God. Sorry, that's Apple. But whatever Android has, I'm not an Android guy. So whatever Android has for exporting or putting it in Google Drive, or, all these things you're going to be able to do. But, this just makes it so you have the same user experience.
Yep. And that's important.
And this one, more on version control stuff, making it look exactly the same as what you're used to on the browser version. When you insert something from another document, let's say we have this steel eye bolt and we're inserting that from our library. That library is telling us that there's been one change since the last version of that eye bolt has been tagged or set, right? So it's letting you know that you can create a V1 essentially, because it's the start version, which was the original import. V1 is now here. When you can create V1 without having to go to the library document. That's what this is saying. Of course, you have to have permission to do it and all that, but yeah.
Yep,
so that's really good.
Good stuff.
I mean, it's the best PDM system for Android that's ever been conceived.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
Anyway, Learning Center. If you're an administrator, on Onshape Enterprise, there is a new video on creating custom computed properties for the enterprise. Custom computed properties are amazing. Like you could, in your bill of materials, you could have auto calculated things that would figure out what size box you would need. Like, do you want a small, medium, or large box based on some custom measurement or whatever, so.
Or even something simple as total weight.
Total weight, exactly. Stuff like that. Yep. Exactly. So yeah, new stuff on mutual trim in the surface modeling course, update to the simultaneous BOM for computed properties, which we were just talking about in the assemblies course, and document management, talking more about those computed properties. So
Learning Center just gets better and better. In fact, we at our last user group meeting, we had a pretty new Onshape user come in, and he was asking everybody, what was the best way? Where can I go to learn more about how to use Onshape? And somebody asked him, have you been to the Learning Center? And he said, no, what's that? And so we made sure he went to the Learning Center. So we're pretty sure he's going to come back for the next user group meeting to tell us how excited he was to find the Learning Center and really get a jump on his learning Onshape. So
yeah, that's great.
Yep. That's how I did it.
That is fantastic. I just had to refresh my screen there.
Yeah, Sebastian points out that if you look at the change log, there's quite a few more things than there are what we showed here, and some of those would be fixes to bugs that might have popped up previously. That change log is always at the end of the new release post, and you can click on that and you can get a better idea of everything that went into this 3-week release.
Oh yeah, and there's one here, if you have PCB Studio for importing your circuit boards and exporting them. It looks like you can, if you have a really large circuit board, somebody gave you a little too much, they gave you every board drilled hole into the sun, you can cancel
with every trace.
Every trace, oh my God, 20 minutes, let's cancel this before we go too far. You can do that now. So that's good. And there's some more REST API stuff, and if you're into FeatureScript or doing any kind of programming with Onshape, REST API Dev Portal, check out some of the stuff in the change log. It might
wonder if some of those REST API changes were something maybe Chris Vaught was talking to us about on the podcast the other day.
He did mention that. He did mention
it.
Yep. If you haven't seen that show, Chris Vaught from Flatter Files was on with us last week, and the show is up there now for you to watch. A great data management discussion with a longtime friend of the CAD world.
Yep. And if the word files freaked you out, honestly, go listen to the podcast. You'll understand why Flatter Files could be a good fit for your organization.
Yeah, it definitely addresses a lot of cool things.
It does.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
we're at the end of another one, huh?
Yeah, I think that's the end of this particular show.
Yeah. Thanks to Sebastian and Christian and Frank and Toby and Eduardo and everybody else that showed up for us today. We really appreciate it. And we always have fun looking at the chat and interacting where we can.
Absolutely. So yeah, definitely last chance to sign up for Onshape Live. So do that now if you haven't, and you can see all the cool new sneak peek updates and presentations. Best way you can spend your Friday or Wednesday or Thursday afternoon, depending on where you're watching from.
Yep. And make sure you check out our regular episodes of the podcast. We've got a special one coming up next week sometime.
Yeah.
So you'll surely want to watch that. And Michael, it's always a pleasure to be here with you. And gosh, it's starting to look like the end of the day for everybody. So let's get on out of here and go play a poker tournament or something.
Sounds good. Good luck.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right. See ya. Bye-bye.